A lot of us feel this way, but some of us are not afraid to say it. Why don't we ever learn from our mistakes? This deal is selling us out and putting our future lives in danger. I will rejoice to see all of my brothers and sisters who have been in captivity for 2 years too long. But I also will not forget the many friends that have died next to me, the souls that have been victim to terrorism because our collective weakness as a people and the governments that have represented us cared more to get a quick fix of satisfaction, that a war would end or hostages return in exchange for trading in our future safety and refusing to take on full responsibility. After fighting Hamas in Kfar Aza on October 7th, to being the first unit deployed into Khan Yunis, Gaza, to being the first unit deployed into Al-Adaisa, Lebanon, fighting Hezbollah, and now yet again, called into reserves to fight for my people, I've been asking myself this question for too long. Why are we asking the world to release our hostages? Begging on our knees for the world's acceptance and drooling over any ounce of support from non-Jews. Release the hostages is not a request for the world. It has been and still is a reminder and a declaration to ourselves that we must release our own hostages. We've become so desperate with obtaining the world's approval, while they remain obsessed with our very existence, finding all possible ways to blame the nation of Israel for anything that goes wrong. Jews, blamed for the death of Jesus, communism, capitalism, 9/11, COVID, Russian-Ukrainian war, even Charlie Kirk. There is not one problem or conflict in this world that some group is not finding a way to attach it to the Jewish people. And these lies are now once again becoming mainstream. Let me make this as clear as possible. What matters is not what the non-Jews say. What matters is what the Jews do. This supernatural obsession is a symptom of a source formula. The moment we become ourselves as Bnei Israel, stepping into our role, being bold and taking tough decisions that ensure our future, the more miracles we will see, the easier our path will become, and only in this moment will the world respect us. However, the more we fear our own reflection, pander to what others say, and succumb to the pressures by refusing to do what's right in order to do what's easy, the more the world will turn on us and the greater harm we will experience. The hostages should have never been taken, and they would have never been if we didn't give up our ancestral land of Gaza in 2005. Do we not remember that the same King David that made Jerusalem the capital of Israel, that gives us the legitimacy to call this city of fire our home, is the same king who made Gaza a part of our ancestral land for the Israelites? The hostages should have never been taken, and they would have never been if we didn't release Yahya Sinwar, who masterminded October 7th in the release of 1,027 terrorists in 2011 in exchange for Gilad Shalit. The hostages should have never been taken, and they would have never been if we would have taken the actions after Hamas rose to power, killing their opposition, indoctrinating and enslaving their population right in front of our faces. The hostages should have never been taken, and they would have never been if when we fought wars in Gaza in 2008, 2012, 2014, 2021, we didn't pull out and let monsters, not the innocent Gazans, take back control of the land. Now, after fighting for 2 years, are we really in 2025 going to release another 2,000 terrorists and give the land up again? We might be freeing many hostages with this deal, but we are also signing a death sentence to the innocents in the future and guaranteeing that there will be more hostages taken and another war to fight. We will not have peace in Gaza until we create justice and until Israel takes full control of Gaza for good, removes Hamas, Islamic Jihad, or any current or future terror group, frees all hostages, restores justice for all inhabitants of Gaza by establishing law and order and protecting freedom of speech, de-radicalizes the population and invests in the best education for all, allows Jews to move back to Gaza, and rebuilds Gaza for all civilians. For 2 years we've been bleeding, but we didn't need 2 years to free Gaza and to bring the hostages home. Did we forget how Israel responded during the Entebbe mission, where Palestinian terrorists hijacked a plane in 1976, taking a plane to Uganda under the reign of Idi Amin, releasing all of the non-Jewish passengers and keeping only the Jewish ones hostages? What did we do next? Did we beg for the President of America to give us our own green lights? Did we consult with the most corrupt countries like Qatar, Turkey, and Egypt? Did we care what the OG colonialist forces like the UK and France had to say? No. We brought them home ourselves. Within a matter of days, we took warplanes, flew under the radars to avoid detection, and stormed the airport where the hostages were being held. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, with all the good you've done, you've also made too many mistakes. But I also acknowledge that any and all Israeli politicians are trapped in a system that is built for division and short-term thinking, rather than true unity and fulfilling our long-term objectives. You are also part of a truly traumatized generation that is so mentally and spiritually colonized, thinking they always need to be under and backed by stronger nations. To all Israelis chanting for years to end Bibi's reign, I hear you. I don't disagree. But we won't change this country and acquire better leaders by blocking traffic and beating drums to disrupt the public. We don't go from Shaul HaMelech, King Saul, to Melech David, King David, by changing the leaders or the system. We get the better leaders or upgraded system when we change the people from within, from the bottom up and not the top down. We must change why Israel exists in the first place. Israel should not just be a Jewish flavor of everyone else. We are a nation apart from others, as Israel is meant to be a vessel of light and Torah, a civilization with a mission statement united by all the physical and ideological tribes that we've become, and fulfilling our collective vision of doing tikkun olam, healing the world of all problems, and being ol hagoyim, a light to the nations. Yes, this is what every Jewish soul chose on Mount Sinai. We all chose to be the world's immune system. If we do our job, the body stays healthy. If we pretend to be other organs or system, the body becomes sick without its immune system. And you know what? It is not the immune system that created the diseases, but it was the immune system's responsibility to prevent them. It is not the Jews that created the world's problems, but we signed the contract and were blessed in order to correct them. The world doesn't hate us because they ain't us. The world hates us because we ain't us. Giants fall to their knees when David faces Goliath with full emunah. Seas split when Nachshon feared neither the water nor the Egyptians. Miracles will return to our people on mass scales once we lock in and realize that anti-Semitism and our enemies are only a reaction to our inaction. This deal allows Hamas to live on, frees thousands of terrorists on the caliber of the architects of October 7th, forfeits the hard work that the IDF has done to take Gaza from Hamas, and pushes the problem we have further. Trump, if you hear this message, I know you care for the people of Israel. You always have. Some even believe you are a reincarnation of Cyrus the Great, who let the Jewish people return to Jerusalem to rebuild our temple and who was also deposed after 4 years. If this is you, you already did a tikkun in this lifetime and came back. And now that you're here, if you truly care for us, get us off the U.S. foreign aid that makes us dependent on America and allows for your country to impose its foreign policies onto mine. If this deal does go through, and when this deal will be broken by the enemies of Israel, do not hold us back from finishing the job we should have completed swiftly after October 7th, because you want to say you made 8 peace deals instead of 7. You have done a lot for Israel, and with all the hate you've received, you are one of the authors of the future global history. To the families of the hostages who have been so brave throughout this indescribable pain as their loved ones have suffered in the darkest of places. As horrible as this nightmare is, the families of the fallen or injured soldiers are also suffering, and so is the rest of the nation. Bringing the hostages home is a priority we all believe in, but not at the cost of losing everything again. There have been 4 times more soldiers who have fallen to ensure there isn't another October 7th than the total amount of hostages taken, and their lives should not have been lost in vain. The hostages are your children and your parents, but for the rest of your nation, they are also our brothers and sisters. We must bring them home right away. To Am Yisrael, stay strong, but stay focused on what must be done. Do not look outward to what the world says. Look within, as Hashem has always been with us. It's time we do our job and tap into the greatest expression of who we are. For it is this generation that will bring justice to our land and allow the world to transcend to its potential.